of the Response Talk Show. And as always, it's not just up here to us talking, it's not just us up here. We all want you to respond as well. Always remember the hashtag TRTS. I'm here with my other respondents. Of course, the lovely Miss Tia Carter. How are you?
What's good? I'm good.
You chilling. You look nice in your yellow. Is this dandelion?
It's Dandatrade.
You got the Beyonce Fighting Temptation going on. This is what's up. This is a episode.
Yeah.
Rah!
What's good?
How are you?
I'm good.
We almost 20. We got the memo.
That's the only way.
We got the memo. We chilling. Today on the response, we're gonna be we lighthearted right now, but we're gonna be talking about something maybe just a little bit more deep and things that you probably could relate to. We're gonna be talking about hair in the Crown Act, right? So, Black Texas student removed from his high school over hairstyle amid the Crown Act lawsuit. Okay? The Crown Act is an acronym for creating a respectful and open world for natural hair. And that is according to the Crown Coalition. That's an organization that, of course, champions this legislation. Mr. Darryl George, he's an 18-year-old junior, I don't know why, at Barbers Hill High School in Mount Bellevue, was first suspended on August 31st for violating the school policy that bears male students from having hair that extends below their eyebrows, earlobes, or a t-shirt collar, in addition to requiring geometrical styles and natural colors. According to a letter sent to George family from Principal Lance Murphy, George is being referred to EPIC, an alternative school program, from October 12th all the way until November 29th for failure to comply with school regulations and violations of previously communicated standards of student conduct. I wonder who wrote that. His mother, Darisha George, and their attorney filed a formal complaint last month with the Texas Education Agency, the TEA, as well as the federal civil rights lawsuit, alleging that the disciplinary actions violate the state's Crown Act, which went into effect on September 1st. So, after hearing all of that, first of all, before we go into the topic, I want to talk about visibility with hair and your appearance. How important is hair and visibility to you, both of
you? Ladies first. My appearance, period. I feel like people's appearance, period, is very important. You know, identity is all wrapped up, in appearance. Mm-hmm. And we've always been targeted. I can remember years back, this same type of thing was going on with an individual working at FedEx or something, and they, were like trying to attack them for their dreads and things like that. I think that our culture, period, is attacked. Our spirituality, our spiritual culture is attacked. Just how we show up as Black people is attacked. We talk about, people always saying like, "Oh, that's ghetto." But when other races do things that are classified as ghetto, it becomes trendy. Like people want to take credit for wearing braids and different things like that, things that we've been doing.
Okay.
I call bullshit.
Okay. Radio Rock, the importance of hair, and then we'll get into the Crown Act.
The importance of hair for me is important. For me, my hair is my crown, so I've cut it off. I have a lot of hair under this scalp that you can't see. It's really long, you just can't see it. But yes, hair is very important. I do believe it's our crown, and we should be able to embrace it, you know what I mean?
Okay, now with this situation, do you feel like the Barbers Hill High School was legit in doing what they did to Mr. Darryl George?
You know what? It's like, if it's like solely based off hair, absolutely they were out of line. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a difference if he is, causing problems in the school and, not doing his work, not showing up, whatever. But if his hair is the sole basis on whatever they're basing this decision off of, I feel like it's totally out of line. It reinforces, the messaging to our community that the things that we do are not right. It's all about the respectability politics and how, black people feel, or, even white people feel that black people should show up in the presence of white people. It's a bunch of bullshit. Like, because what about the rock star white kids who are, doing their thing and have their punk rock hairstyles and pink hair and, all of that type of thing. I feel like at the end of the day, it's a message to send to like young black kids like this young man to, try to beat him down and tear his confidence down and, not have him be proud as a black man. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like that's what that is.
Okay.
Like, let him be proud. He probably is raised in a household where his mother calls him a king and and reinforces powerful things like that.
Affirmations.
So it's the system's way of tearing us down and telling us that no, this is not proper and your hair needs to be this way for you to fit this standard. Like I said, it's a bunch of bullshit, and it's like it annoys the fuck out of me.
Okay, I'm as annoyed, but what about you?
Yeah, because I agree. I feel like your hair has nothing to do with you getting your education.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, but again, it does have to do with how the kids are being raised in their households. Like, if his mom is instilling in him, you're a king, and then he's going to school and they're making him feel like, anything less than that, that's trauma for that child. You know what I mean? So this experience I'm pretty sure it's traumatic for him, but I really think it's bullshit too, that if it has to do with his hair, but if not, then, that's another story. But if it's anything to do with his hair, I don't think that there should be a problem with that.
They say that the Crown Act went into effect September 1st. And from October 12th until November 29th, which is after the 1st.
Yeah.
So regardless, let's say hypothetically, first I'm going to be devil's advocate. Let's say hypothetical, this violates the school regulations or conduct code or whatever the case may be. There is a new act that is put in place now, which negates, right? That, which is the Crown Act.
Right.
So he's a child of the Crown. He should be able to wear his crown and walk in no matter whatever, right, to get an education, as you said.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to say this to the king who's in the situation. I don't know if you're watching this. Wear your crown no matter where you go and wear it proudly, okay? Fuck that school.
Cause the terms and conditions be some bullshit. Like
Yes.
they
The
will,
fine print?
like they'll come
Always.
up with some shit that automatically disqualifies us, and then when we show up as our authentic selves, and we are, these people, but you've already written in your rules that who I am disqualifies me.
Yes.
Like, so it's just like, some bullshit. I seen a post recently that, quoted the amount of black people, in America or in the world or whatever.
Okay.
And if we were really to, those of us who are working class people, if we were really to just put in like $2 a week,
Okay.
and that was like, it's like some billions or millions of us here. I'm not sure of the exact number, but I'm just saying that to say we need to build and fund our own shit, like, but that's another conversation.
For sure.
Because when these systems and these laws and all of this shit, none of this shit was set up for us.
No,
Even in a
not at
previous
all, no.
episode, we talked about masculinity and femininity.
Femininity,
None of those standards were built considering like black women for femininity, or like none of that shit is for us.
Yes.
And the more we try to fit into those systems, and the more we let them dictate
Mhm.
what the fuck we should be.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this is something that like really, really agitates me. So,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll just whatever.
You ready? What she said? Yeah,
Because it's like an ongoing topic. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's so, yeah,
It's
it's
so much to
exhausting.
it. Yeah.
But to where it even comes back to us, and even talking about the last episode with masculine versus femininity, and like breaking down the household, how do you now transition that pride into putting it into your children and instilling it into your everyday, your value. So even when you go to work and be with your coworkers, you are a functioning, righteous person. And righteous is different to different people.
Yeah.
But in terms of this with the Crown Act, I feel like it's also a way of control and contempt all the time. It's another way to put another bar in front of you, both mentally, both physically. You want to come with this act and you want to put up this bar and you want to say, oh, you're not good enough for A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. And this kid could be a scholar. He's an 18-year-old junior, but who knows?
Yeah, he could be. And I'm glad that people are paying attention, and I'm glad that the people who came up with the Crown Act, came up with it to combat these types of behaviors and these types of things. We need to stand up for our youth and stand up for our community and let them know that who they are and how they show up is good enough.
Yes, it is.
We don't, it's so much more stress to try to exist fitting standards and fitting all of this stuff. So many people would be so great. Social media and standards and all these rules and regulations and all this shit is the root of a lot of people's depression.
That's true.
Trying to fit
This is
all
true.
of this shit.
Looking at other people's stories and what they're doing.
Right.
And I saw someone being interviewed the other day. As a matter of fact, it was Cat Williams.
Okay.
And they asked him if he could be someone else in the world, anybody in the world, who would you be? He said nobody.
Okay.
Because, and I felt that because it's like people are out here really wanting to be other people because of they're watching social media and feeling like, oh, well, why is that not happening for me? Or why, don't I have what they have? But a lot of times when you go behind that and you go be around these people, they don't have nothing going on.
Right.
They don't even have a conversation for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think people should go by,
what? I see that too. May know some people who are, popping on social media and stuff, and they may take good pictures and the story may look good and they may look like they are living the life, but a lot of these people are going through hell.
Yes.
They broke.
Yes.
They, you know what I'm saying?
Sleeping
they
on someone's couch, or
they stay at the fucking clinic getting the penicillin shot. Like different things. We have to stop. Like you may look at somebody and be like, oh, this person is, so sexy and all this shit. Not even knowing that, this bitch is beautiful, but
on the inside is disgusting.
Yeah, or label her, she want to burn
the
you.
inside is what matters.
Cheese.
The inside matters.
I'm just saying, like, we lusting after shit that is unrealistic, and I am so happy that I have arrived at a point in my life where I have the discernment to see.
Amen.
Because if we were so caught up in images and keeping up appearances and all of that type of stuff, which is so toxic. And I guarantee you, some of the most people who you look at on social media, whatever, OnlyFans or whatever, they fucking going through something. It might look good to be like, oh, this person.
Sometimes it is a cry for help.
You might look at this person and be like, oh, this person is having all this amazing sex with these amazing hot people and whatever, but you don't know
what's the
flip
story
side.
Right.
You don't know that this bitch at the clinic every week, like
but that's
what I'm saying.
I don't want to be nobody else. I never wanted to be like nobody else ever.
Me either.
Let me ask y'all a
Go ahead.
And this is a question that I have posed to other trans women before, but do you think as a community and those of us who are not of the newer generation, have we set a standard? Have we set an image of something that is unrealistic for people to obtain? Like me speaking as a trans woman or femme queen as you will.
Yes.
A lot of people look at trans people, or they may look at somebody like me or Ra and feel like that it was easy because we carry it well or something, not knowing the process
The
or the
journey,
shit
yes.
that we've been through.
Right.
But is
Or
it,
that you just have to go
do
through
us
daily.
as a community, like, or are we not honest? Or are we not showing what it really is? Or are we not telling the struggle for people to romanticize our lifestyle?
I don't feel like
No.
you have to share your struggle.
Right.
Everyone's is different. But I don't feel like you should have to share your struggle to prove to somebody, look, I'm human, or I'm going through this or whatever. Like, it's not your fault that people are looking at your social media and feeling like you're living this type of lifestyle just because they're in the space they're in. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, yes.
It's all about your mentality.
It does.
Yes.
And enough people have come out and say different things, like older trans women who transitioned before now have come out and told the stories of getting silicone and the effects. So I feel like the warnings are there. I just feel like we have, as a community, mastered a way of showing up flawlessly that misleads people.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I don't know
You
if
hear
it's.
what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
How we show up.
Yes, I know.
People
I feel like it's a version
we
of
have
triumph,
no problems.
It
or
goes
something.
way
I
back.
feel like it's a version of triumph. Like, I feel like our generation, really, every generation feel like they go through something, and it does. But ours went through a transition from where it was not cool to tolerate it to acceptance, and we was there for the whole ride. So we end up coming out. You understand, like when something goes through something coarse, like going through the mud to come out clean, and that's why we show up the way we show up. Anybody from our generation, you sit down and have a conversation with them for 5 minutes, they're gonna tell you what it is. Or the moment they see the next generation stepping out of line, it's an automatic thing to be like, to reach and teach. What happens is that generation is disconnected.
Yes.
And they're more concerned with Instagram.
Yes.
They don't want to sit and have a conversation with you until it might be convenient to the whole thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
People not
convenient
liking
to them.
People don't like you unless you got certain things or you doing certain things. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with the disconnect. I do feel like there is a disconnect in this new generation.
I don't think it's
with
our
reality.
fault.
No.
I think we made it through. The
Yes.
stuff that we went through, we ain't stars, we ain't
I blame
celebrities, we survivors
reality TV.
basically. We are survivors.
Yes.
And because we can show up like a survivor, whether that person that's looking at it perceives it that way, has nothing to do with us.
Yes.
Just like with the Crown Act.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with that young man's hair. It has everything to do with the white people feeling inferior
Yes.
and that he's empowered
Yes.
by his crown.
Yes.
And they feel
Because
inferior
you know we're
by us
a
wearing our
threat
crown.
Okay, wait a
it
minute,
is,
wait
yes.
a minute. This is getting hot, but please stay tuned for more of the response.
You are tuned in with your boy Radio Ra, and this is your community highlight. Gia Love is a black trans woman from New York City. She is a model/activist that centers her work around putting big-bodied black and trans women at the forefront of every conversation. Gia is the star of the Teddy Award-winning documentary Kiki, a coming-of-age story about youth in the ballroom scene, and her work in the house and ballroom scene has encompassed community activism, HIV and STI prevention services for at-risk LGBTQ+ youth and research. She is currently the Director of Community Engagement for Black Trans Femmes in the Arts Collectives, which is BTFA. Gia founded the Celebration of Black Trans Women Cookout, a summertime event that centers and celebrates black trans women by creating a joyous experience for the community. Gia has joined the Trans Equity Consulting team as a consultant to provide capacity building support and equity for trans folks across industries. Gia is a courageous Black trans woman who has overcome adversity by living in her truth unapologetically and authentically. This has been your community highlight with your boy, Radio Rock.
A random thought.
What's up, everybody? It is your man's Brandom Thoughts, and as you know, I have Brandom Thoughts randomly. Today's Brandom Thought talks a little bit about progress and where you are, right? I need you out there to work as if someone is working 24 hours to take your spot. Keep in mind, no matter how hard you work or how many mistakes you made or how many times you get knocked down and you can't get back up, always keep in mind that you are already 10 steps ahead of someone who isn't trying. That is the Brandom Thought, and I have Brandom Thoughts randomly. Y'all have a great day.
Stay tuned for the Big 3 finale thoughts.
I am not my hair. I am not this skin. I am not your expectations. No, no. Let me stop. But India Ari, said it best with that. Like, I am not my hair. I am not my skin. I am not your expectations or what you should feel I should be. We have come to a place where we are at freedom and we want to be ourselves and we want to express ourselves. A lot of Black people have connected back to the roots of Africa and African spirituality and different things like that. So their hair and the way that they dress and all of that is so significant to them. I wish that we can get to a place as a society where we stop beating people down for how they want to express the way that they feel and the way that they show up. So I wish anyone struggling with this issue a lot of strength, because it takes a lot to be yourself, and no one knows that better than me. We'll see you next time on The Response.